Welcome to solving linear inequalities. For the most part, solving linear inequalities is the same as solving equalities. So most time, you can just treat this as if you have equals there and be good to go. So we do this example real quick here. I want to get t on the left side, so this t right here, I'm going to leave it alone, which means I'm going to add the opposite of 4, so to both sides. I get 3t is greater than or equal to t minus 6. Then at this point, I want t on one side, so subtract that last t from the right and the left. 2t is greater than or equal to minus 6. To break up the 2 and the t, we divide by 2. T is greater than or equal to minus 3. Now, when you're dealing with inequalities, a lot of times they'll ask you to draw your answer on a number line. So here's our number line. All right, so at minus 3, we'll put it right here. So I'm going to shade this number line where t is, right, bigger than minus 3. So bigger goes to the right. So I'm shading this way. And I also need to make note, this is t is greater than or equal to. I need to find some way to indicate on the graph that t can't equal minus 3. So this book here uses a bracket. You may have also had teachers of books in the past that here at minus 3, you put a closed circle and then shade to the right. I have no problems using the brackets or parentheses or closed or open circles. We'll do an open circle example in a second. And also, sometimes for the answer, we want to leave this in interval notation. All you're doing to interval notation is you're reading left to right. What's the left-hand number and what's the far right-hand number? So read left to right. So for us, right, minus 3 is our left side. And how far to the right do we go? We go over here to plus infinity. So to do interval notation, we're going to take our first number, minus 3, comma, our right number, in this case, plus infinity. And we need to mark it. We need to put this in either parentheses or brackets. So if I have a bracket on my number line, I'm going to do on this one, or a closed circle, I put a bracket on that value. So right here at 3, I put a bracket. And right here at plus infinity, we'll put a parenthesis. A bracket means you can be that value. A parenthesis means you can get close to it, but you'll never actually attain it. A quick summary is, so open circles / parentheses for greater than or less than. Closed circle / bracket for greater than equal to or less than equal to. So suppose we do some work and we end up with an answer like x is less than, I don't know, 5. If we draw a number line, put 5 right here in my number line. X is less than 5 means we want to be smaller than 5. So every number is smaller, which means we go to the left. So now, strictly less than, right? means open circle parentheses. So in this case, I put parentheses like this. Or if you're an open and closed circle person, here's 5 to open circle and chain. Myself, I'm a parentheses and bracket person, so for the rest of the time, I'm just going to do parentheses and brackets, but if you feel like open circle, closed circle works for you, it's fine. And the last thing we'll do is interval notation. Now remember, it moves left to right. So my left side right here is minus infinity, and then go all the way up to the 5. So minus infinity to 5. Now when you deal with infinity, whether it's plus infinity or minus infinity, infinity means you have a number that's always growing. You never actually attain the value of quote infinity. So plus infinity and minus infinity are all your parentheses. Now because I have strictly less than, right, that means parentheses. So I'm going to put parentheses on 5. That's my interval notation. Okay. Now, one other thing we need to talk about is, you may remember there's one sneaky thing about working with linear inequalities, and that is when multiplying a linear inequality by a negative, the direction of the inequality sign reverses. And I'll make a note here, multiplying or dividing, it doesn't matter which one you're doing. If you multiply or you divide, you have to switch direction. All right, so let's look at an example. Because I have fractions in this particular example, I need to find the lowest common denominator. So the lowest common denominator, well, if you can look at and know by inspection, great. And that's actually going to be 20. If you're not sure, we go here to our scrap paper. There's 5 and 4. What you're going to do is you're going to factor your denominator as much as possible. 5 is just 1 times 5, so we put a 5. And 2 and 2. Oh. 4 is 2 times 2. Now, know what you're going to do is say, do they have anything in common between 5 and 4? If the answer is yes, you're going to take each common grouping 1 time. In this case, there are no common things, so the lowest common denominator is going to be all the leftover stuff that's not in common. So 5 times 2 times 2, or 20. And just like when you have equality, right? If I have some sort of relationship sign here, equals, less than, greater than, I can multiply both sides by the lowest common denominator. So I'm going to say 20 times 6x minus 2 over 5 is less than 20 times 5x minus 3 all over 4. And again, if it makes you feel comfortable, go ahead and write the 20 as 20 over 1. It's unnecessary in terms of doing the problem correctly, but some people it makes you feel comfortable. So if that's you, put those in there. Then we're going to say, okay, 5, because it's multiplication, 5 we can divide into, because I'm multiplying the fractions, I can divide top and bottoms. So 5 goes into 24 times. And this 20 is times, sorry, this 4 is times everything. So I'm going to get 4 times 6x minus 2 is less than. Again, 4 goes into 25 times, and that 5 multiplies by all that leftover stuff. So I have 5 times 5x minus 3. And now we're just going to multiply stuff out and combine like terms. So 4 times 6x is 24x minus 8 is less than 25x minus 15. I want my x on my left side and my constants on the right side. So I'll move this minus 25 over. Then with minus x minus 8 is less than minus 15. Plus 8 to both sides, get x by itself. And minus x is less than minus 7. Now at this point, I don't want minus x, I want just x. So if it helps, you can go ahead and put a 1 right here so you know this is minus 1. So you either now multiply by minus 1 or divide by minus 1. And so when you do this, minus 1 divided by minus 1. Because I'm multiplying by a negative or dividing by a negative, this will become greater than minus 7 over minus 1. Where x is greater than 7. At that point, you're ready to either graph on a number line, so here's our number line. Place your 7 on here, put 7 right there. And so x is greater, so that's what all the values that are bigger than 7. So everything this way. Strictly greater than, which means, let's go back up here. Right? Open circle or parentheses for greater than or less than, right? Close circles for brackets or bracket for greater than equal to or less than equal to. We have strictly greater than, so it's going to be a parenthesis or open circle. So there it is. And my interval, if you ask for interval notation, starts at 7. At the left side, to the right side, it goes to plus infinity. So interval notation goes from 7 to infinity. And parentheses will always go on infinity. And 7 will always, 7 has a parenthesis on it, and number line, so it'll be a parenthesis here. Those are the way we write our answers. All right. Please let me know if you have questions. The last thing I'll look at was called is a compound inequality. Here's an example. And minus 8 is less than or equal to x over 2 minus 4 minus 4 is less than minus 5. So this reads, right? Minus 8 is less than or equal to x over 2 minus 4, which is less, and x minus 2 is less than 4 is less than minus 5. So it says that this thing in the center is between those two values. terms of solving this, it's actually pretty simple. Our goal is to get x in the middle by itself. So just like before, if I want to get x over 2 by itself, I have to add 4 to both sides. So plus 4, plus 4, plus 4 there. I did the left side, I did the middle, and I'm doing it to the right side. So minus 4 plus 4 is minus 4 is less than or equal to x over 2, which is less than minus 1. Now I need to get rid of that divide by 2, right? Multiplication is undone by division. Here we're dividing, so to undo it, we're going to multiply by the denominator of 2. So we're going to have 2 times minus 4 is less than or equal to 2 times x over 2 is less than 2 times minus 1. Now remember, I multiplied. Did I multiply by a negative? No. So I didn't multiply by a negative. The inequality signs do not switch directions. So I end up with minus 8 is less than x is less than minus 2. Again, we could be asked to draw us on a number line or interval notation. So for the number line, show you a number line, you have two values of interest. You got the minus 8 and the minus 2. Put those on your number line in the correct position. That's very important. So here we are, minus 8 and minus 2. Now where's x? X is right here in the center. So my shade is going to be right here in the center. Now, at minus 8 is less than or equal to, right? Less than or equal to means bracket. And x is less than minus 2. Strictly less than means parentheses. So that's my picture. If you ask for interval notation, you go left to right. Left side starts at minus 8, comma, to minus 2. And then whatever I have on there, right, bracket goes to minus 8. And parentheses goes to minus 2. All right, so that's the introduction for solving linear inequalities. Make sure you watch out for multiplying and dividing by negative signs. When you do that, you have to change the direction of the signs. Let me know if you have any questions.